Hi YouTubers, today I'm going to show you how to change a set of speakers in a Renault Laguna 2007. It's the Mark II one. It's got a slightly different radio to the older one. This is the radio set that's in this one. Now I did change this set over to a different type, and actually it turned out that the set that comes with this is far better than the one I swapped it with. So I've gone back to the set radio that come with the car, but I did find that the speakers are the letdown. So I'm going to change it with these. This is a Pioneer speaker I bought online. It's got a couple of ripples there and there. I'm hoping they'll pop out, but I did get them cheap. I should think they'll be okay. But they look like they were pretty decent speakers, so I'm gonna fit those in. That's where the speakers are at the moment. I'm going to do the front and the backs, but I'll just show you for now to do the front, and then I'll show if there's any difficulties with the back. This little panel here just does pop off. So it's not too sad a thing. It just comes off like that. If you can get your screwdriver down in there, just pull out the lugs. You'll see it should start to come away. We open the door, we'll get it off easier because it's a bit in the way. Okay, and we'll just pull him off. Okay, there we go. And that's it off. Okay, once that's away, we can see our stock fitting car speaker there. Cheap, nasty, plastic looking thing. The only letdown probably with this stereo. It's got two of these odd funny screws, not posies. They look like posies, they're not. They don't fit. You've got to have one of these sets of screwdrivers with all the different things in it to find the right one. Okay, but they're only cheap, so no worries. I found the one that fits it, and it was this particular one. Looks like it pops out at the moment. Hang on, right, found the piece. It was on the floor the other side. There's the little screw head that it is for it. And we're going to undo these now. And it's only held in by those two screws. A bit cheap and nasty really. I'd have liked 4 screws in it really to make a proper seal, but never mind. It's one of those things. Cheap and nasty is the way these days. So we'll undo the screws and see what lies therein. Right, undo that one. We'll screw down there. Undo the other one. And we'll see what gives. I'm going to have to open the car door because there's not enough room to get that a slot in there properly. I'm holding the camera with the other hand, so I can't really hold the speaker that well. So we'll undo that, take him out there, and we'll have a look what lies therein. Okay, and what have we got? We've got a special connector that probably won't fit our Pioneer for definite. So that we'll take that out, but that definitely won't fit. So we'll get that off and see what we've got to do. Right, after looking at our speaker that we're going to fit here, this Pioneer, what I've done is I've soldered a couple of wires on the back, on the connectors there. You see that there, because this connector, this yellow one, it doesn't fit this connector, of course not. You know, they're totally different. So what I've done, I've soldered a couple of wires on the back of this speaker, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to cut this off, this tab, because if I want to put them old speakers back before I sell the car and I want to take those Pioneers back out, I don't want this wrecked. So I've soldered some wires on here, and what I'm going to do, they're nice and thin, I'm going to jab those straight into the back of these connectors here and tape them in so that they make a fairly good fit. Right guys and girls, next problem, now we've cut this with the snips and I've chopped off those side pieces there, so we've only got two lugs now either side that will correspond with our fitting. One other thing before we put this in really is something to work note, is that I'll put 2 wires on here, solder them on there. One of those is positive, one of those is negative obviously, but there's not actually anything on the speaker to say which way round it is, which is, you know, just typical. But then these 2 wires I'm going to connect to are both just pink anyway, so it's going to be a bit of potluck as to what's round the right way. Now there are meters and that you can get to check what, you know, ohmage is round the right way, but the best way is literally to jab the wires in, turn the stereo on and have a listen and see. If it sounds out of phase or a bit odd, then you will have to swap the wires around in the way that you've pushed them in that connector. If that's the case, just take the speaker back out, it's only 2 screws, and swap the wires around if it sounds a bit odd. We call it out of phase if it is out of phase, you'll need to do that. But other than that, now I'm just going to jab the wires in there now, tape them up and screw it in. I'll show you it screwed in, and that should be it. So I'll get that bit done now. Well, YouTubers, there she is, she's in, and I'll put my screw in there, and my screw up there. I mean, it's not a brilliant fit. You can wad this out with some wadding around the outside to make that a better fit in there, because for me, it really needed another screw in there. The other, I mean, you could always drill through there, possibly, and do another fixing, but the fact the other fixing was there and coincided with that, there was nothing more you can do. I'm going to try out that anyway and see how it sounds. So all it remains now is for me to put this cover back on, and we'll see how it goes. In the meantime though, there's the front ones on and finished. You wouldn't tell from obviously behind the cover there that the new speakers are on. I'm going to give the radio a blast now to see if it's any good. I go in the back seat of the car now, and just looking at the back door, and as you see, the speaker is the same. So it's exactly the same fitting for the back as the front. The only extra that we have got on the back, I've noticed, is that we have got a tweeter, separate tweeter, which is quite nice. So that obviously we can leave alone, but I'll just take it off and have a look at the wires, see if they're just the same. And there we have it. Yeah, it's exactly the same as the front speakers. Again, same thing. Pull this plug out if you want to do it the way I've done it. I mean, you can cut that off and hardwire it if you want to, but I prefer it that way. I can always put these back in. So that's it, YouTubers. Thanks for watching. Loads more stuff on my channel, Derriton33, for loads of tips on things, how to do things from plumbing to anything, building work, the lot. Roofs, you take it, I've just done it and had a go. So you are, have a go, do it yourself, save yourself a few bob, and good luck. And I'm sure you can see it's an easier job than you thought, isn't it? Okay, thanks a lot for watching.